Hello, and welcome to New Beginnings Start Today, the podcast for people who want to grow much deeper in their faith in the Lord. I'm your host, Dr. Douglas Keffer, a minister, licensed clinical pastoral counselor here in Roanoke, Virginia, and I have a passion to help people live their faith. Today, we are going to talk about living transformed by Jesus and how you can live and have a process of transformation by following Jesus and doing what he directs you to do through the Holy Spirit. Let's look at this. There are many companies that spend millions of dollars advertising their weight loss products that are supposed to transform a person who is terribly overweight into a person that they want to be. All you have to do is buy their product, stay on their regime, and before you know it, you will be transformed into the person that you were wanting to be. The picture that they post of people before and after are pretty amazing. I am thinking of a woman who they show standing inside the jeans she used to wear before taking their product. You can get two of this woman in those jeans. Then all these programs show you in an hour how they took a house that the owners wanted to change to be made, and they make those changes. The homeowners tell the people that they are going to do the work that they want to be done, the budget they have to work with, and the work begins. Then comes the reveal day, where the owners come back to their house, where they are greeted by the workers and are asked if they are ready to see their transformed house. They all go inside, and the owners are just blown away by the work that has been done. And they thank the contractors, and there are smiles and hugs by all. The most important transformation in a person's life is the one that comes by knowing Jesus as Lord and Master of one's life, though. This transformation is seen in how the person lives their life on a daily basis. It is a deep internal change that comes by the indwelling of the Holy Spirit, and the person receives the direction of how they are to live differently than in the past by the renewal of their minds. The Apostle Paul gives real insight into how this takes place. When he wrote to the Christians in the great city of Rome, he wrote, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to rest or to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will." Romans 12 and verse 2. Paul emphasizes the importance of letting go of the worldly way of thinking and learn to understand God's perspective of how we are to live. We then will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. I saw this happen in many of my clients over the years. They would sit with me and say, "Dr. Keffer, I know that the Lord is directing me to," and then they would tell me about the new job they were being offered. Many would talk about how they would feel compelled to talk and behave differently with their spouses because they had lost sight of how their attitude and behavior were affecting the most important person in their lives. Their lives were being renewed. Their minds were being renewed because of the conviction the Holy Spirit was placing on them. The ultimate goal of this transformation is to be transformed into the likeness of Christ himself. Paul taught the Christians in the great city of Corinth that by hearing what Jesus was telling them, they were going to experience this transformation. He wrote, "And we all who with unveiled faces contemplate the Lord's glory and being transformed into his image with ever increasing glory, which comes from the Lord who is the Spirit." 2 Corinthians, the third chapter, verse 18. I want you to believe this truth about Jesus being able to transform you into his likeness. Imagine what it is like to be transformed into his image with ever increasing glory. And you will begin to get the blessing of having Jesus in your life every day as you see him as the Spirit. This is how you can look at what you are faced with in life and know that you are going or not going to have to face those trials, those heartaches, those disappointments, those temptations, those addictions, those failures. None of them alone. None of them. Jesus and the Spirit are right there with you. And the more you rely upon your faith that he is right there with you, the more you will see that he will meet the needs that you have in all those circumstances. Satan will want to convince you that what I am saying to you is a lie. Remember, Satan hates Jesus because he knows that his end is eternal damnation in the pits of hell. I had a wife come for her counseling session, and I was counseling her husband as well. She looked at me and said, "Dr. Keffer, my husband is different. He has a whole different spirit about him. He is talking about what Jesus is doing for him. He is more attentive to me and our grown children. He has a much better attitude about the demands of his job as president of the company. And it is all because you showed him the truth about being changed by his relationship with Jesus. He goes to that dugout every day to read his Bible and pray, to gain insight into what you are teaching him, and it is transforming his life." I am proud to call this dear couple my friends as we continue to stay in contact with each other. And I have this man tell me what a blessing it is to know that Jesus is directing his life because of his obedience to his will for his life. It has been a privilege to see how this man's life has been transformed because of his surrender to the Lord's will for his life. It has been a real blessing to his grown children who have seen the transformation of their dad. The transformation I want you to experience can only come if you do not love the things of the world, quote unquote. This is so hard because of all the junk that is thrown at us every day in social media. Think of the time that you scroll through Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and others. What is it that you mostly see? The things of this world that do not promote a healthy relationship with God or his son Jesus. The beloved disciple John tells us what kind of priority we must have in following Jesus when he wrote, "Do not love the world or anything in the world. If anyone loves the world, love for the Father is not in him. For everything in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, comes not from the Father, but from the world. The world and its desires pass away, but whoever does the will of God lives forever." 1 John 2, verses 15 through 17. This admonition is very clear. If, as Christians, we love the things of the world, the love for the Father is not in us, is not in them. When we separate ourselves from the things of this world, it is unmistakable that the differences people see in our attitude and actions really grab their attention. The process of this transformation, living for Jesus, is not an easy road to go down. There have been changes. There have to be changes you are willing to make from the former life you had apart from your relationship with Jesus. When you accepted him as Lord and Master of your life, you came out of that watery grave of baptism to rise, to walk in a newness of life. Paul tells the Christians in the city of Colossae about what this change does when he wrote, "Therefore put to death your members which are on the earth, fornication, uncleanliness, passion, evil desire, and covetousness, which is idolatry. Therefore, as the elect of God, holy and beloved, put on tender mercies, kindness, humility, meekness, long suffering, bearing with one another, and forgiving one another, even as Christ forgave you, so that you also must do. But of all things, put on love, which is the bond of perfection." Colossians 3:5, and then verses 12 through 14. There is a stark contrast between the two lists Paul gives in this passage. The first list is of the sinful nature that exists in people that are living for the things of the world. They are idolatry because people put all these sinful natures before their relationship with God and Jesus. When you have made the decision to follow Jesus, you become as the elect of God, holy and beloved. Paul goes on and describes what that transformation produces in your life as you put on tender mercies, kindness, meekness, long suffering, bearing with one another. What he says surpasses all these wonderful attributes is, above all these things, put on love, which is the bond of perfection. That perfection is the process of transformation that goes on in you because of your relationship with God and his Son, Jesus Christ. Living the transformed life means that you are going to have a process in your life that you will have to be constantly aware that it is happening every day. The brother of Jesus, James, gives us great insight into this process of transformation when he wrote, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you." James 1, verses 2 through 5. Asking God for his wisdom to deal with all the trials you are going to face is the smart thing to do, because James' promise is, ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. This is the way to live, transformed by your relationship with God and Jesus. Thank you for listening to this episode, and I want to invite you to contact me and share how you are learning to live a life transformed because of your obedience to God and his will for your life. Answer this question: what has been your greatest blessing due to your transformation? If you're seeing this on YouTube, please click the subscribe button and the like button. Also, click on the share button and share it with all your friends. That would be so helpful to me. Then you tell me about other issues you would like me to address by leaving your comments, or you can email me at drdouglaskeffer@gmail.com. I also invite you to pick up a copy of my book, New Beginnings Start Today with God, and you can find that on my website, drdouglaskeffer.com. Until next time, God bless each of you. God bless each of you.